Hi, good afternoon. My name's David Mamet. I live in Southern California and I'm a pilot. And the Southern California was the birthplace of commercial aviation in the United States of America. Of course, that heavier than air aviation started as a couple of bicycle mechanics in Dayton, Ohio. But commercial aviation started here. One of the first scheduled airlines was between Long Beach and Catalina. Lindbergh, of course, built the Spirit of St. Louis in San Diego. Amelia Earhart learned to fly here. The first round-the-world flight started from Douglas Aviation, which is about 100 yards from here, 1924. I learned to fly here. Most of the guys who learned to fly in World War II learned in the area between here and Palm Springs, and also in Arizona. And most of the women who learned to fly here learned here. The WASP, Women Auxiliary Service Pilots, were some of the greatest pilots in World War II. They were American women who flew everything except combat. They flew all of them. They were the first pilots to deliver the difficult planes. And a lot of the pilots under Jackie Cochran, the male pilots, were shamed into flying planes that they thought were dangerous because they'd be delivered by women. Jackie Cochran was an orphan. She never knew who her father was. She adopted the name. She was a beautician. She taught herself to fly and was responsible for the women flying in Southern California. Also, a lot of people in the entertainment industry, for example, Maureen O'Hara, who we all know from the John Wayne films, owned with her husband and operated her own airline. And Ruth Chatterton, a great actress of the early sound era, taught a lot of people to fly, most of the people in the aviation business. I love it here. I love flying. I love the history, not only of the United States, but of aviation. And I discovered a little while ago that one of my ancestors was very involved in the beginning of aviation. And I want to show you this plane over here. This is a very early model of the Blériot monoplane. This was the plane that Louis Blériot flew the English Channel in this. He was the first man who flew the English Channel in 1909. So this model is about 110 years old. And it's particularly important to me because of this guy here. So if you can see the same plane here, and it's being flown not by Blériot, but by a fellow who was his mechanic, was one of the early guys to fly heavier than air in France, first guy to fly heavier than air in Spain. His name is David Mamet, and he was my second or third cousin. The history of aviation is so bound up with the American century, and I would like to thank everybody at Palm Springs and congratulate them for preserving the magnificent American and world heritage of aviation. Congratulations on 25 years.